Welcome to my channel English Speaking. Let me ask you something before we begin. Think about the last time you tried to speak English. Maybe it was with a stranger. Maybe it was in a class. Maybe it was watching a video and trying to repeat the sentences out loud. What happened in that moment? Did the words come easily, or did something stop you? Did your mouth freeze? Did your mind go blank? Did you feel a wave of embarrassment so strong that you decided to stay quiet instead? If that is your experience, I want you to stay here with me today, because what you just described is not a sign that English is too hard for you. It is not a sign that you are bad at languages. It is not a sign that fluency is impossible for someone like you. It is a sign that you have been practicing in a way that does not prepare you for the real moment of speaking. And today, we are going to change that. This video is for beginners, but I want to be honest with you about what that word means. Beginner does not mean stupid. Beginner does not mean hopeless. Beginner does not mean you will be here forever. Beginner means you are at the start of something real. And the start is actually the most powerful place to be, because every decision you make now, every habit you build now, every small practice you do now will shape everything that comes after. If you build the right habits from the beginning, your progress will surprise you. If you build the wrong habits, you could study for years and still freeze every time someone speaks to you. So let us build the right habits together, starting right now. The first thing I need to tell you is something that most English courses never say. Speaking is a physical skill, like swimming, like riding a bicycle, like playing the guitar. It is not only something that happens in your brain, it is something that happens in your body, your mouth, your tongue, your lips, your breath, your throat. They all need to practice the movements of English sounds, English rhythms, English sentences. And just like any physical skill, the only way to improve is by doing it repeatedly, consistently, in small sessions every single day. You cannot read about swimming and then jump into the ocean and swim. You cannot read about speaking English and then walk into a conversation and speak. Your mouth needs practice. Your breath needs practice. Your confidence needs practice. And that practice begins here, in this quiet moment where nobody is judging you. And the only requirement is that you open your mouth and try. So let us start simply. Let us start with the most basic building block of speaking practice. Let us start with sounds, with breath, with your voice, finding English. Take a breath right now. Breathe in slowly. Then breathe out and say this with me. Hello. Just that. Hello. Say it again. Hello. One more time, a little louder. Hello. That was English. Real English. Spoken by your voice. And it was enough to start. Now let us add one more word. Hello there. Say it. Hello there. Good. Now let us make it a complete sentence. Hello there, how are you? Say that slowly. Hello there, how are you? That sentence is complete. It is natural. It is something a real English speaker says every single day. And you just said it. That is not nothing. That is everything, because every long journey begins with exactly that kind of small step. Now, I want to talk to you about something that beginners often do that actually slows their progress. When most beginners study English, they focus on what they do not know. They look at a long grammar rule and feel overwhelmed. They see a difficult word and feel discouraged. They hear a fast native speaker and feel hopeless. They spend most of their energy measuring the distance between where they are and where they want to be. And that distance feels so enormous that they stop moving. But here is what I want you to do instead. I want you to focus entirely on what you already know, because I promise you, even as a beginner, you already know more English than you realize. You know hello and goodbye. You know yes and no. You know please and thank you. You know my name is, and I am from, and I do not understand. You know good morning and good night, and see you later. You know water and food and help and excuse me. These are not small things. These are the skeleton of real communication. And when you start using what you already know with confidence, something beautiful happens. The gaps between what you know start to fill in naturally because you are in the conversation, you are listening, you are responding, and every exchange teaches you something new. So, right now, let us take the words you already know and turn them into real sentences you can use immediately. Listen carefully and repeat each sentence after me. Say them slowly and clearly. Do not rush. Your goal is not speed right now. Your goal is confidence. My name is. I am a beginner. I am learning English. I want to speak better. I practice every day. I am getting better slowly. I am not afraid to try. Say those again. My name is. Say your own name in that sentence. My name is Maria. My name is Carlos. My name is Ahmed. My name is Priya. Say it with your real name. Feel how natural it sounds. Feel how it belongs to you. Now let us build on that. Let us take those simple sentences and expand them just a little. Not a lot, just a little. Because progress in speaking is not about jumping from simple to complex. It is about expanding gradually, one small step at a time. My name is, and I am from. I am learning English because I want to travel. Or I am learning English because I want to work with international people. Or I am learning English because I want to understand movies and music. Or I am learning English because I want to feel confident when I speak. Which one is true for you? Say it out loud. Right now, say the sentence that describes your real reason. Because when your practice connects to your real reason, it becomes more powerful. It becomes personal, and personal practice sticks. Now let us talk about something very practical. Something you can start doing today, this evening, or first thing tomorrow morning. I want to teach you how to use your daily routine as your English classroom. Because the most powerful English practice is not in a textbook or a classroom or even in a video like this one. The most powerful English practice is in the ordinary moments of your ordinary life. Think about what you do every single day without thinking. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you drink something warm, you get dressed, you go somewhere, you eat, you talk to people, you come home, you rest, you sleep. These are not boring moments. These are perfect English practice moments, and most beginners completely ignore them. Here is what I want you to do. I want you to start narrating these moments in English, out loud if you can, in a whisper if you need to, in your head if that is where you have to start. But put English words on your daily actions and watch what happens to your brain over time. Let us practice narrating a morning together. I open my eyes. It is morning. My room is quiet. The light is soft. I feel sleepy. I want to sleep more. But I get up. I sit on the edge of my bed. I take a deep breath. Good morning. Now I stand up slowly. I walk to the bathroom. My feet are cold on the floor. I turn on the light. I look in the mirror. I look tired. My hair is messy. I smile at myself anyway. Good morning, I say to my reflection. Good morning. I pick up my toothbrush. I put toothpaste on it. I brush my teeth slowly. 1, 2, 3. I count in English while I brush. Then I rinse my mouth. I wash my face with cold water. It wakes me up. I feel a little more alive. I go back to my room. I open my closet. I choose what to wear. I say the colors and the clothes in English. Blue shirt, black pants, white shoes. I get dressed slowly. I feel more awake now. Did you notice something about that narration? Every single sentence was short. Every single sentence used simple words, but together they told a complete story. A real story. A story that happens in your life every single morning. And when you practice telling that story in English, you are doing something incredibly powerful. You are teaching your brain that English is not something that lives only in classrooms or textbooks. You are teaching your brain that English lives here in this room, in this morning, in this life. That connection is everything. Because when English feels like your language, not a foreign language, everything gets easier. Your mouth relaxes. Your mind opens. Your voice comes out more naturally. Now, let us move to a part of the day that beginners often find very difficult. Conversations with other people. Even short, simple conversations can feel terrifying when you are a beginner. The other person speaks, and your mind freezes. You know some words, but they do not come out in time. The moment passes, and you feel frustrated and embarrassed. I want to help you with this by giving you something practical. I want to give you a set of conversation starters and conversation continuers. Short, simple phrases that help you begin a conversation, keep it going, and handle the moments when you do not understand something. These phrases are your conversation toolkit. And just like any toolkit, the more familiar you are with your tools, the faster you can reach for them when you need them. For starting conversations, practice these. Hello, how are you? Good morning, how is your day? Nice to meet you. My name is... Excuse me, can I ask you something? Hi, do you speak English? For keeping a conversation going, practice these. That is interesting. I did not know that. Really? Can you tell me more? I understand. I think I understand. I agree with you. I am not sure, but I think. For moments when you do not understand, practice these. Sorry, can you say that again? Can you speak more slowly, please? I did not understand that. Can you repeat it? What does that word mean? Can you explain that differently? For ending conversations politely, practice these. Thank you so much. It was nice talking to you. I have to go now. Have a good day. See you later. Take care. Goodbye. Now here is how I want you to practice these phrases. Not by reading them silently, not by memorizing them like a vocabulary list. I want you to say them out loud, one by one, with a natural voice, as if you are already in the conversation. Say hello, how are you with the same warmth you would use with a real person. Say, sorry, can you speak more slowly, please, with the same tone you would use when you actually need help. Because the voice you practice with is the voice that will show up in real conversations. If you practice in a flat, mechanical, emotionless way, your speaking will sound flat and mechanical in real life. But if you practice with real tone, real warmth, real feeling, your speaking will carry that naturalness into real situations. Let us talk now about one of the most important beginner skills that nobody teaches, the skill of buying time in a conversation. When you are a beginner, there will be moments in conversations where you need a second to think, where you need to find a word or organize a sentence before you speak. And in those moments, most beginners do one of two things. They either panic and say nothing, or they say and look desperate. But there is a third option, a more confident option. You can use natural filler phrases that buy you time without making you look lost. Native speakers use these phrases all the time. They are completely normal and natural in English conversation. Listen and practice these. Let me think about that for a second. That is a good question. Well, actually, I think. Hmm, let me see. I am not sure exactly, but the thing is, what I mean is, how can I explain this? When you use these phrases, you do two things at the same time. You buy yourself the time you need to find your words, and you signal to the other person that you are engaged and thoughtful, not confused and lost. That changes the energy of the whole conversation. The other person relaxes. You relax. And suddenly, the space to think feels less like a failure and more like a natural part of dialogue. Now, I want to spend some time on something that beginners need to hear clearly, something about mistakes and what they actually mean for your progress. Because most beginners have a broken relationship with mistakes. They treat every mistake like evidence that they cannot speak English. They treat every wrong word or missed pronunciation like proof that they are failing. And that relationship with mistakes is one of the biggest things holding them back. Here is the truth. Mistakes are not signs of failure. Mistakes are signs of activity. You cannot make a mistake in English if you are not speaking English. The mistake is evidence that you tried. The mistake is evidence that you are in the game. And every mistake contains information. It tells you something specific about what your brain has not yet fully learned. It gives you a target, a precise small target, to focus your next practice on. The learner who speaks and makes 10 mistakes is improving faster than the learner who stays silent to avoid any mistakes at all. Because the silent learner is practicing silence, and silence never becomes fluency. So I want to give you permission right now. Permission to make mistakes in this practice. Permission to say the wrong word and keep going. Permission to mispronounce something and continue anyway. Permission to forget a word and use a simpler one instead. Permission to be imperfect and still proud of yourself for trying. And alongside that permission, I want to give you the tools to handle mistakes gracefully when they happen in real conversations. When you make a mistake, say this: "Sorry, I made a mistake. Let me try again." When you forget a word, say this: "I cannot remember the word right now, but I mean the thing that you used to." When you say something wrong, say this: "What I meant to say was." When you feel confused, say this: "I am a little confused. Can we go back to." When you need to slow down, say this: "Sorry, I am still learning. Please be patient with me." Practice those phrases right now. Say them one by one. Really say them. Not just in your head, with your voice. "Sorry, I made a mistake. Let me try again. I cannot remember the word right now. What I meant to say was." "I am a little confused. I am still learning." Please be patient with me. These phrases are a form of courage. They are the phrases of someone who refuses to let imperfection become silence. And every time you say them instead of going quiet, you become a braver English speaker. Now, let us practice something that will feel strange at first, but will help you more than almost anything else. I want you to practice speaking English to yourself. Not to another person, just to yourself. In your room, in the bathroom, while cooking, while walking, while waiting for the bus, just you and your voice and English. I know this sounds strange. Many beginners laugh when I suggest this. They say, "Why would I talk to myself? That is crazy." But listen, when you talk to yourself in English, several important things happen at the same time. You practice the physical movement of speaking English. You practice connecting English words to real thoughts and feelings. You practice hearing your own voice in English, which makes it feel more normal and less foreign. And you do all of this with zero pressure, zero judgment, and zero audience. Talking to yourself in English is the safest, most available, most underused practice tool in the world, and it is completely free. Here is how to do it. Start by narrating what you are doing right now. If you are sitting, say, "I am sitting in my room." I am watching a video. I am learning English. If you are walking, say, I am walking to the kitchen. The floor is cool. I am thirsty. I need some water. If you are cooking, say, I am making dinner. I am cutting vegetables. The onions are making my eyes water. That is funny. Start with 3 minutes a day, just 3 minutes of narrating your actions in English. That is less time than it takes to drink a coffee. And after 2 weeks of consistent practice, you will notice something remarkable. Your speaking will feel less like a performance and more like a habit. The English sentences will start coming before you have time to be nervous about them. Now, let us practice some essential vocabulary for beginners. But we are not going to practice it as a list. We are going to practice it as a living language, connected to real situations and real feelings. Think about your home. Your home is full of English practice. Every room, every object, every action is an opportunity. Let us go through it together. You are in your bedroom. You sleep here. You rest here. You dream here. The bed is soft. The pillow is comfortable. The blanket is warm. The alarm wakes you up. The window shows you the sky. Say these things slowly as you imagine your bedroom. My bed is comfortable. My room is quiet at night. I sleep here every night. I feel safe in my room. You are in the kitchen. This is where you eat and drink and feel nourished. The refrigerator is cold inside. The stove is hot when you cook. The table is where you sit to eat. The food smells good. You are hungry. You eat slowly. The food is delicious. Practice these. I am hungry. I open the refrigerator. I take out. I cook. The food smells wonderful. I eat my breakfast slowly. You are getting ready to go outside. You put on your shoes. You pick up your bag. You check your phone. You make sure you have your keys. You open the front door. The outside air is fresh. You step outside and the day begins. Practice saying these actions. I put on my shoes. I pick up my bag. I have my keys. I open the door. I go outside. The air feels good. I am ready for today. You are on public transportation. Maybe a bus. Maybe a train. Maybe a taxi. There are people around you. You sit by the window. You watch the streets pass by. Sometimes someone sits next to you. Sometimes someone asks you something. How do you handle these moments as a beginner? Practice these transportation phrases. Excuse me, is this seat free? Can you tell me which stop is? How many stops until? Does this bus go to? Excuse me, I think you dropped this. Thank you. Have a good day. These small phrases make a big difference because when you are prepared for a situation, the situation does not control you. You control it. And that feeling of being prepared, that feeling of knowing what to say before you need to say it, is one of the best confidence builders available to any learner. Let us talk about something specific now, something that many beginners avoid because it feels too vulnerable. Asking for help in English. Many beginners are so afraid of looking confused that they never ask for clarification, never admit they did not understand, never say, "Can you say that again?" They nod and smile and pretend to understand. And then they go home feeling frustrated because they missed everything that was said. Asking for help is not weakness. Asking for help is intelligence. It is the most efficient learning strategy available. When you say, "I did not understand that, can you explain it differently?" you get exactly the information you need, delivered in a way your brain can process. That is not embarrassing. That is excellent communication. So, practice asking for help. Practice it so many times that it becomes your first instinct when you do not understand, not your last resort after minutes of nodding and pretending. I did not understand. Can you say that again, please? Can you speak more slowly? I am a beginner. Please be patient. What does that word mean? Can you write that down for me? I am sorry, I am still learning English. Now say those phrases with a calm voice. Not an embarrassed voice, not an apologetic voice, a calm, clear, confident voice that says, I am a learner and I am taking responsibility for my own learning. That energy changes how people respond to you. When you ask for help with confidence, people help you with warmth. When you ask for help with embarrassment, people sometimes feel awkward too. Your confidence gives other people permission to be patient and kind. I want to spend a moment now talking about listening, because speaking and listening are two halves of the same skill, and beginners often focus so much on speaking that they forget how important listening is. And I do not mean passive listening, where English sounds wash over you while you do something else. I mean active listening, focused listening. The kind of listening where you are fully present and working to understand every word. When you listen actively in English, you build something very important. You build a library of real English sounds, rhythms, and patterns inside your brain. And your brain uses that library when you speak. It reaches into the library and pulls out the right phrase, the right sound, the right rhythm automatically. This is why people who listen to a lot of English begin to speak more naturally over time, even without studying grammar intensively. So how do you listen actively? You listen with your full attention. You notice not just what words are said, but how they are said. You notice the rhythm, the stress, the pauses, the emotion. You repeat phrases quietly as you hear them. You ask yourself what that sentence means and whether you understood it completely. Active listening is a practice in itself. And like all practice, it rewards consistency over intensity. 10 minutes of focused listening every day will do more for your speaking than 2 hours of distracted listening once a week. Now, I want to give you something to practice right now. A real conversation practice that you can do alone, tonight, wherever you are. I want you to have a conversation with yourself, both sides of it. You ask the question and you answer it. This sounds strange, but it is incredibly effective. Ask yourself these questions and answer them out loud, in full sentences, slowly and clearly. What is your name? My name is... Where are you from? I am from... How old are you? I am years old. What do you do? I am a student. Or I work in... Or I am looking for work right now. What are your hobbies? I enjoy... In my free time, I usually... Why are you learning English? I am learning English because... What is your biggest challenge with English? My biggest challenge is... What do you want to achieve? I want to... Do that exercise now. Pause the video. Pick up your phone. Record yourself answering those questions. Do not listen to the recording right away, just do the exercise. Finish all the questions, then listen back. I know listening to your own voice feels uncomfortable. Most people do not like how they sound on recordings, but the recording is not about judging your voice. The recording is data. It tells you where you are right now. And when you record yourself again in 2 weeks and listen back to both recordings, you will hear the difference. And that difference will motivate you more than any encouraging speech I could give you. Progress is the best motivator. And recording yourself is the fastest way to hear your progress clearly. Let us practice one more set of essential phrases before we start bringing everything together. These are phrases for real-life situations that beginners face every day. Shopping, ordering food, asking for directions, and handling phones. For shopping, practice these. How much is this? Do you have this in a different size? Can I try this on? Do you accept cards? Can I have a bag, please? Thank you. Have a good day. For ordering food, practice these. Can I see the menu, please? What do you recommend? I would like please. Is this dish spicy? I am allergic to. Can I have the bill, please? This is delicious, thank you. For asking directions, practice these. Excuse me, can you help me? I am looking for. Is it far from here? How do I get there? Do I turn left or right? How long does it take to walk? Thank you so much. You are very kind. For phone calls, practice these. Hello, my name is. I am calling about. Can I speak to. Please? Can you call me back? Can you speak more slowly, please? I am sorry I did not hear that. Can you repeat it? Thank you for your help. Goodbye. Practice each of these sets until the phrases feel familiar in your mouth, until they do not require conscious effort to produce. That familiarity is your goal, because in real situations you will not have time to think. The phrase needs to come automatically, like breathing. Now, I want to talk to you about something that every beginner goes through, a phase of practice where you feel like you are not improving, where every session feels the same, where the language still feels foreign and difficult and far away. This phase is real, it is normal, and it is temporary. Language learning does not happen in a straight line of steady improvement. It happens in waves. There are periods of rapid progress where everything clicks and you feel excited and motivated. And there are plateaus where nothing seems to be moving, where you wonder if you are wasting your time. The beginners who become fluent speakers are the ones who continue practicing through the plateau, who show up every day even when the progress is invisible, who trust that the seeds they are planting are growing underground even when they cannot see anything yet. If you are in a plateau right now, I want you to know that something is happening. Your brain is reorganizing what it has learned. It is building connections and structures that will suddenly become visible as a leap in ability when the plateau ends. Your job is simply to keep going. Keep narrating your morning. Keep using your conversation toolkit. Keep recording yourself and listening back. Keep talking to yourself while you walk. Keep showing up. Fluency is not a destination you arrive at. It is a direction you keep moving in. And every day you practice, you move a little further in that direction. Even on days when you cannot feel the movement, let us come back now to the evening and the night, because I want to give you a specific routine for your last hour before sleep. Because this is one of the most important hours for language learning, and most beginners have no plan for it. In the hour before you sleep, I want you to do 3 things in sequence. First, narrate your day. Quietly, in English. Tell yourself what happened from morning until now. Use the simple past tense. Today, I woke up at, I ate, I went to, I talked to, I learned, I felt, I practiced English. Keep it simple. Keep it honest. Just a few sentences about your real day. Second, practice your foundation phrases. The phrases built around I am, I have, I need, I want, I can, I do not. Say 5 phrases from each pattern, softly, slowly, without pressure. Let the pattern settle into your mind before sleep. Third, choose 1 sentence, just one. 1 sentence that you want to say tomorrow in real life. Maybe it is something small. Maybe it is good morning to a neighbor you usually only nod at. Maybe it is how are you to a colleague you usually just wave to. Maybe it is ordering your coffee in English instead of your own language. Choose 1 sentence. Practice it 3 times before you sleep. Then go to sleep holding that intention. And in the morning, before anything else, before your phone, before social media, before the noise of the day begins, say 5 sentences in English. Any 5 sentences about the morning, about how you feel, about what you plan to do today. 5 sentences, out loud, with your real voice, in your real room, at the start of your real day. Then during the day, use your 1 sentence. the one you chose last night. Find the moment. Breathe. Say it. Notice how the world does not end. Notice how the other person responds normally. Notice how you feel after. Remember that feeling. It is the feeling of growth. Then come back tonight. Narrate the day. Practice the phrases. Choose tomorrow's sentence. Sleep. This cycle is simple. It is not dramatic. It does not require expensive apps or courses or tutors. It requires only your voice, your life, and your commitment to showing up every day with a little more courage than the day before. And here is what I can promise you. If you follow this cycle for 30 days, your English will not be the same as it is today. Your mouth will be more comfortable with English sounds. Your brain will reach for English phrases faster. Your body will be less tense when speaking. Your confidence will be measurably higher. Not because something magical happened, because you practiced consistently, honestly, in small, powerful daily moments. That is what builds real speaking ability. Not shortcuts, not hacks. Daily practice connected to your real life. Before we close today, I want to say something directly to you. I know learning English is not easy. I know that some days it feels impossible. I know the gap between where you are and where you want to be can feel enormous and discouraging. I know that speaking in front of people is one of the most vulnerable things a person can do, especially in a language that is not your own. But I also know this. You are more capable than your fear tells you. You are more prepared than you think. And you are closer to real communication than you realize. The sentences are already inside you. The courage is already inside you. The only thing standing between where you are now and where you want to be is practice. Consistent, daily, imperfect, brave practice. Do not wait until you are ready. You will never feel completely ready. Start now with what you have. Start with hello. Start with how are you. Start with I am learning. Start with one sentence spoken softly to yourself in your room tonight. And then come back tomorrow and do it again. Subscribe to English Speaking and come back for a new practice session every time you need to hear English spoken clearly, slowly, and with care for your learning journey. Leave a comment below with one English sentence about your day today. Write it now. One sentence. It does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be yours. Share this video with a friend who is also learning English, because practice is better with company, and progress is sweeter when you share it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to grow. Thank you for opening your mouth and trying even when it was uncomfortable. That choice, repeated every day, is the choice that changes everything. I will see you in the next practice session. Keep going. You are doing better than you think,